Hey guys, Jackie here with Ruth and Ruby. I have a fun spring project for you today. I'm so excited. I'm a part of a collaboration with Jamie Ray Vintage and a lot of other fabulous makers. So our playlist today is all about spring. So the first thing I'm gonna do for my spring porch makeover is a door hanger. And we're gonna use some new fun products. So come on, let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is paint this wood round. This is about 15 inches. This one was custom cut, but you can pick up one similar at Home Depot. They're about 18 inches, but they'll work just the same. I'm gonna use my DIY paint in White Swan. And just give this a quick coat of white paint. And we're gonna let that dry. So we wanna make sure we get the sides of this round also, because this is gonna hang on your front, well, it's gonna hang on my front door. If you make it too, it'll hang on your front door, right? But you'll be able to see it is what I'm getting at. So you wanna make sure you get the edges really well also. Okay, so my wood round is all dry, but the next step is gonna be decoupage. If you didn't know, Jamie Ray Vintage has come out with a beautiful line of decoupage papers. So that's what I'm gonna use today. I've already cut out the portion that I'm gonna use. So this one sheet of paper, you can see, will do 2 trays. And then you'll still have some scraps left over for you to do other projects. So what I need to do now is pour out some of my DIY liquid patina. This is what I'm gonna use for my decoupage medium. So I wanted to show you these before I opened them. I love to get these little bowls at the Dollar Tree because they come clearly 12 to a pack, and they are awesome for just pouring out a little bit of your paint, liquid patina, or what have you. That way you don't contaminate the whole jar. That's probably more than I will need, but we're gonna go for it. So I just wanna dip it in there, and I'm gonna coat this really well. Okay guys, I had to pause for the barking dog. If you hear her, I'm sorry. My girls are upstairs in their bedroom playing, which is right above my workspace, and the dog thinks there's somebody here. Do you guys have a tiny little dog that thinks they're gonna protect the home like mine? She's only 6 pounds. Like, what is she even gonna do? Huh, Lorelai, what are you gonna do? All right, so like I said, just covered that with my liquid patina, and I just laid my paper down right on top, and I'm just gonna use this little brayer and smooth it out. But I'm just using it to smooth out. All right, so I've got that smoothed out really nicely. All right, so then I'm gonna give it another good coat of liquid patina on top. All right, I'm gonna dry it. All right, so I've got that pretty close to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my farmhand IOD stamp and line that up. And I think I'm just gonna spell out welcome. So what I'm gonna do once I pull it off is you're gonna lay it down just like as if you were stamping. That's gonna allow you to be able to line it up exactly how you want it, and then we can pick it up with a thin mount and stamp it exactly like you lay it out. Okay, so I have a repeated letter, the E. I'm gonna take the F and put it right here for just a spacer, just so I can kind of see. And I'm gonna put the E on the end. That way, see, I can tell that I've got a little more space over here, so I'm gonna wanna scoot those over just a smidge. So just like that should be good. I actually think I'm gonna go up just a tad too. Okay, just like that. Okay, I think I'm leaning a tad, so let me bring these up just a little bit. Okay, I think that's gonna work. So then, I'm gonna take the little thin mount that comes on them, just pick that up, just like that. Make sure that's nice and adhered. Flip it, and I'm gonna take my F off, because remember I need my E. So I'm gonna put that to the side. All right, let's decide what color I'm gonna use. All right, so I mixed up some Queen Bee and crinoline to get this pretty yellow color. It was probably about 75% crinoline and 25% Queen Bee. So it just gave me this really pretty, light creamy yellow. So I'm gonna use this to stamp those letters. So I'm just gonna put out a little bit on this little gray mat. So I'm just rolling it out on my little mat here. I know y'all can see me in the corner there. Just want to get my brayer really good and coated. All right, let's see what happens here. I feel like that might be just a little bit too much paint. Let me roll a little bit back off. Okay. All right, here we go. You want to make sure you get this off because you don't want to take a chance of it smudging and getting on your project. Get all that back off. Okay, here goes nothing. And I'm not looking for perfection here because with the movement of the paper already, I'm not too worried about it looking off center, if that makes sense, or if it doesn't look perfectly straight. Giving it just a little bit of pressure, but not so much that it's gonna cause the letter to kind of do this. Does that make sense? All right, let's see what happens. Ooh, I like. I wondered if that color was gonna show up, so I'm glad that it did. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put my E in there, and I'm just gonna freehand it. Gently let it fall. Okay, not too bad. I'm okay with that. Looks pretty good. Let me turn it around so you can see it. See, isn't that pretty? Okay, so on my other door hangers, I usually do kind of like an over-the-top bow, like, you know, something pretty large. But for this one, I can go with just something really simple, and I'm gonna just wrap this. This is kind of some thicker jute twine, and I'm just gonna use this sanding block and wrap it around a few times. Not even really counting, just going for it. All right, that looks good. And then tie a knot to hold everything in place. Okay. Yeah, that worked out great. Okay, I want to go in now with just a little bit of black wax. I'm going to start with the edges. Just like that. Just want to get it all the way around. Then I'm going to wipe off the excess, and then we're going to lightly go in the center too. I just don't want to do it right now because I don't want it to sit too long. I want to be a little more cautious with that because I don't want it to get too stark. I mean, you can always use clear wax kind of as an eraser if you get too much on there, but I want to, yeah, see, I'm gonna have to go back, I think, a little bit anyway, because that's maybe just a little bit too much, a little bit more than I wanted. But that's okay, that's the beauty of wax, because you can go back, kind of go back and forth until you get the perfect desired amount. You see how that's coming right back off? Okay, let me wipe a little bit more. That's better. I am loving this. And you remember how earlier I told you about the little wrinkles and how I wasn't worried? That's why. See that? What do you think? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the bow on so we can finish it up. Got my handy little Ryobi glue gun. I'm just gonna put a good amount right there where I want it. Now, once this is dry, I can go back in there and reinforce it with a staple, with the staple gun if I want to. So after it's dry, I'll just kind of take a look and see. Like if it feels really nice and secure, I won't really worry over it. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna let that sit for a good 10 minutes or so and let that dry.
I forgot to record the clip of me attaching the hanger to the back. I just hot glued it the same way I did the bow on the front, and then I reinforced both with staples. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my front porch makeover. And let me know in the comments what you think of the new JRV paper. To get more great ideas for spring, click the playlist button below.